Hey guys, this is Rich from Bacon Ice Cream Productions. The stuff you're about to see is part of our ongoing coverage of DexCon 13 happening right now at the Morristown Hyatt in Morristown, New Jersey. So check it out and enjoy.
You see the booth. They walk by, you're like, that's right? You could totally pick them out just walking down like a convention hall. Mm-hmm. You know they're there just by how they're dressed. So they're always like, dude brings 5 different pairs of shoes. He told me one time, he said, I dress like this because I spend the rest of my time in overalls in the shop making this. And I'm covered in wood and glue and dust and stuff. He's like, I go to a con, I want to sell, I want to dress up.
Right.
Why not? And I'm like, yeah, why not? And it's great. Like they literally looked out of the 50s one time. They had like the cap that comes down to the brim. He had like the tie, the vest, the cream colored vest with like brown pants and like loafers, and all like the two women that were helping there had like their hair in that style with like the flower, and they were all like the exact same outfit. I'm like, this is, you win. You win completely, because like I will recognize you from a mile away. You know why I changed my colors from black to orange? Because every fucking company is in black.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, no, done.
I hate the color yellow. What's the primary color of our logo? Yellow. Wanna know why? Because people fucking see it.
Yes.
I get it. Questions before we start. Are you recording this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Alright.
It's usually our rambling introduction.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Alright, well now I don't know how to not ask this. Was there anything I'm not allowed to talk about out of things we've spoken about this weekend? Like, plans after Geisha?
No.
Okay.
It's all good.
I wasn't sure if there was anything, because once or twice it was, you were still in negotiations. You're like,
well,
I'm sharing, but...
Those negotiations are done, so now not going to be called that, so we can talk about that. Just
Okay.
It's going to be as something else.
Okay. Well, since we are already recording, John, that whole, probably it said it at the bottom somewhere. But how the fuck do I know? I'm sitting here looking at...
Rich was tapping at things while we were talking.
Yeah, maybe.
He's ninja.
And he didn't say anything, so we were just sitting here going, you're here for, this is DexCon 13,
Yep.
yes. Vinny fucked me up in that opening ceremony.
I heard 14 too.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, which one are we? Yeah, I think we all did that. We were all like, huh?
The badges.
But now every time I try to say DexCon 13, I have to pause and go, was it 14 or 13?
Badges say 13, let's go with what the text says.
Yeah, exactly. And I know, because I helped you out with the CyberGen War, but also you were here promoting Geisha.
Yeah.
Which you're looking at.
We showed the Ashcan up by Gen Con. It should be ready by October. We printed by October.
Okay.
And so I should have that ready to go, and then ready to launch it in October. Hopefully get a little bit of, because we got a little bit of buzz generated from it. More buzz at Gen Con. Have it out for October, or even September.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's available September. We'll take pre-orders and away we go.
Indie RPG?
Totally an indie RPG. Through IPR.
Yeah, IPR. It was like, nope, I fucked that up. I don't remember it.
Indie Press Revolution.
Yes.
One more word you're missing.
Cool. How many sessions did you end up having?
4, 3 of them went off-ish. 2 of them went off like gold, and the one that went off, only one person showed up, so we made characters, so they got a feel for it, and they really liked it, and it was really, really good. So it's been a lot of positive feedback. It survived. I mean, the joke is it survives DexCon, and it's good to go.
Okay.
There's nothing in the rules that made me want to go, no. We're not going to do this. So yeah, I think we're good to go for the layout and the printing and all that fun stuff.
All right. Now, we were talking last night at like midnight or so. You have a plan for the system after this?
Yeah, that's going to be down the road. But the next thing we're actually going to do is going to be we're doing a fantasy game. We're breaking rule number 1 of role-playing games: don't write a fantasy game. But we're writing a fantasy game called Critical ! Go West. I feel the need to say the ! Because I think it's funny to have those 2 punctuation marks next to each other. But I'm a geek like that. And it uses, going back to Geisha, going to that point, is that we're making the system open source. It's going to be Creative Commons attribution share alike, so you can make derivatives of it, you can use it to sell a game that you want to make, You just have to make it available to other people to both use the changes you've made and to sell it once they're done. The new system we're doing is the fantasy system is critical ! The reason for that is that when you score critical in the game by getting the target number, you get one really good thing and one really bad thing, because it's actually a funny fantasy world. And by a funny fantasy world, I don't mean the schlocky, slapsticky, kind of goofy wink and a nudge, ho ho ho, we're being funny now kind of fantasy world. It's a fantasy world where there's serious situations that are made funny by the fact that it's kind of ridiculous, the reasoning why it's happening, but everyone in the world takes it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely deadly serious in the world, because that's the way they've done it.
Right.
I think the example people like the most is that the Bardic school is run by someone who believes that only true art is created in adversity, and only the strongest shall survive this adversity to create the art. So when you join the Bardic school, you get put into a band, and only one band will graduate per year, and so there must be a duel and a combat to determine which band will come out on top. And so if you can play the lute while turning it into a bow and arrow, that's extra credit. If you can take an arrow while playing the lute still, also extra credit. And so there's that going on. There's the Razor Teeth Mountains, where you have organized by height, where you have the 3-foot mountains where all the 3-foot monsters live, the 6-foot mountains where all the 6-foot monsters live. We were joking about writing an adventure where the 3-foot monsters hire you because the 6-foot monsters are breaking their territory and coming down and beating up the 3-foot monsters, and they can't deal with it, so they have to hire some adventurers to go push the 6-foot monsters back.
Gotcha.
It's still gonna need a little bit of tweaking because that was supposed to be the licensed product, but that fell through. And we think it's still a good enough system and a good enough world and a good enough idea that it can be done on its own. And so we'll be doing that. We're writing, hopefully going to get some stuff done for Cutthroat Caverns for Kurt. We're going to be doing that. But the idea after Geisha, because I also wanted to modify my own system to make it work, is we're down the pipe we're also doing something called Teenage Wasteland.
See, that's what I was specifically referring to, but...
I know, but I wanted to get into that because that's actually after Critical.
Okay, I didn't realize the timeline, so...
Yeah, it's a little further down. It's after Critical Go West, but Teenage Wasteland, where you play using the Geisha system where you're playing teenagers in a post-apocalyptic or cyberpunk setting, and you end up trying to fight against the corporations that are constantly getting more power to keep you down.
He has no experience with this at all.
None whatsoever. And the Cybergen stuff is upcoming. We're gonna renegotiating the contract soon, so we're gonna see how that goes, and that'll determine really what direction we're gonna be going in. That kind of stuff.
What was your favorite part about the con?
My favorite part about the con is always the people. Always the people I get to see, because I don't get to see people so often.
Well, that's because you live in Canada.
Yeah, I live in Canada. Yes. And I'm all out and about. There you go. See?
That's why I was, when we were doing the podcast, you said about, and I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, I'm glad I don't have the mic right now.
Well, if I produce fan service, what can I say?